Hello everyone. This is a practicals for post-sub BSc on ecological succession. Ecological succession means changing of one ecosystem into another ecosystem is called as ecological succession. The ecological succession occurs in the water, in the forest, in the soil, etc. Here in this class, we learn what is ecological succession, the process of ecological succession, the types of ecological succession, the causes of ecological succession, the process of ecological succession. As I said earlier, in the definition, the gradual replacement of one community by the other is called as ecological succession. That means the replacement of the ecosystem is called as ecological succession. There are many causes for succession. We call as, it can be classified into two types. One is called as biotic causes, another one is called as abiotic causes. The abiotic causes include the earthquakes, the landscape, the landslides, tsunami, soil erosion, etc. The biotic causes include the microorganisms, the urbanization, etc. These are the major causes of ecological succession. An orderly process of community change in a unit area is called as ecological succession by Odom. A process of ecological development is also called as ecological succession. Community means a combination of different population forms the community. Population means a group of individuals of a particular area is called as a population. These are the two common terms which we use in this ecological succession. Once again, I'm repeating, the population is nothing but a particular kind of a species in a certain unit of a tank in a certain area is called as a population. A mixed populations form the community. The community is an ecosystem. It's not a stable. It's not a stable. It's not because it may fluctuate. The community may fluctuate. The community may change based on the climatic conditions. Look at the pictures: a coral reef community, a forest reef community. There is a drastic changes in these two communities. Yeah. Types of ecological succession includes primary and secondary succession based on the starting, autogenic and allogenic succession, autotrophic succession, heterotrophic succession, hydroseed and xeroseed are the few examples of ecological succession. Seed means it's a chiral stages. That's a final stable community, what we call as. That means after the ecological process is going on, the final process which will be occurring is called as seed, or we call as chiral stages. The primary succession starts with, is also called as a pioneer organisms. The pioneer means the first community which will be invading in any area. Example, in a playground, if the first community it will come and occupy means it will be called as a primary succession. It starts from an area where there was no previous living matter. Example, in a rock surface newly created pond, first community establishing in a new area is called as a pioneer community. Example, in the rocks lies lichens and phytoplanktons in the pond or in aquatic ecosystem. See the lichens in the rock surface. That way the first community which will come and occupy in the barren rock, the rock surface. First, you can see the picture, the rock surface without any life. After a few days, after the storage of the water will be much more, then the lichens will be starting. The lichens which will be formed in the rock surface. These lichens can release the folic acid and break this rock and form to a new other ecological system. The secondary succession starts with the previously built up substratum, already existing living matter. Sudden changes causes and disappearance of the existing community. Example, fire, snowball, biotic inventions. Thus an area became a devoid of any living matter. Secondary succession is a comparatively rapid process. Just you can see the picture. In a grassland ecosystem, the grass will be the first pioneer organisms which will be in that ecosystem. After that, the grassland of the fire and a bare area after the fire, secondary succession, grass again seeding. That is called as a secondary succession. See, I have shown the picture here. First, the primary succession will be the grassland. In a grass is the in a pioneer ecosystem, in a pioneer organisms in a grassland ecosystem. After the causes of the ecological succession due to the fire, the bare area will be found after the fire. Then, after a few days, the second succession will start. That is, grass is sprouting. Autogenic succession means after succession has begun, the community itself modifies its own environment and thus causing its own replacement. Auto means self. Just you can say the self. Okay, after succession has begun, the community itself modifies its own environment, thus causing its own replacement. Allogenic succession means replacement of existing community by external conditions and not by the existing organisms. Just you can see autogenic succession, a fish death due to several algal blooms. That is, biological magnification has occurred and eutrophication due to the eutrophication process, that is enrichment of the nutrient media, forms the growth of the algal blooms in that pond ecosystem, in that aquatic ecosystem. That is a picture which I am showing, this autogenic succession. After succession has begun, the community itself modified to the different environment, causing its own replacement. That is called as autogenic succession. Allogenic succession, you can see in this picture, the fish death due to the industrial river pollution means replacement of existing community by the external condition, not by the existing organisms there. External condition is the polluted water which is accumulating in that aquatic ecosystem, and the death of the fish will be forming and changes in that ecological ecosystem. The process of ecological succession includes nudation, invasion, competition and coaction, reaction and stabilization. This I can say the process is just like a film story, or I can say in a forest ecosystem. Just we can say the pollens, the pioneer. I will tell one story here. In a forest ecosystem, the first pioneer organisms in the forest ecosystem will be the pollens. The pollens can fly from the water, and the water, it will come and occupy in the land surface. That will search for its environment. If the environment shows state, it will start growing. The pollens start settling. After that, the many pollens will come and occupy in the same space. Then the reproduction of the pollens will increases. The reproduction, as the reproduction increases, the growth and their population density will be much more, and there will be some fighting between for their space and nutrition between those organisms. Last final stable community which will be invading that area is called as chiral stages or sieve. This is the process of ecological succession, what I am talking now. First step, we can say the nudation. See, as I said, the first pioneer organisms which will be come and occupy in the bare area, that is called as nudation. Okay, causes of nudation is topography, climatic, or biotic. Topography includes soil and topography related, climate due to the glaciation, dry period storm. Biotic includes the forest destruction, agriculture, disease and epidemics. Innovation is the second step. The successful establishment of a species in a bare area. Innovation is complete in three steps like migration, excess, and aggregation. Migration is of shifting of one place to another place of a certain living organisms. Aggregation means there will be some competition for the food and nutrition. That process also increases the invasion. See the migration are example that given, the seeds, the spores, etc., etc. This is this process of successful establishment of a species. Aggregation after this is individual of the species increase their number and they stay close to each other. Just you can see here the migration. One seed is there, it will come and occupy. The example, the pollens in the barren area. Okay, after that the seed will start. The seedling will start. That is called eces. And aggregation means there will be increase in the community. The process, see, that area will be invaded by the different communities. That is called as aggregation. And now the competition starts. Now, so really the competition will be starting for the space and nutrition. Okay, the aggregation results in large number of a species within a limited space. This results in the competition for food and space. Individuals of a different species affect each other. Competition and coaction results in elimination for unfit individuals, survival for the fit individuals. A species which wide reproductive capacity and ecological amplitude will survive here. Reaction, the most important stage in ecological succession, it is modification in the environment to the ecological of the living organisms present on it. Due to the reaction, change in the soil, water, light and temperature, etc., it will be modified. Due to this modification, the present community becomes unsuitable for the existing environmental conditions. Such communities will be quickly replaced by another community that is called as SIR or Siral stages. SIR is nothing but the whole sequence of the communities that replace one another in a given area is called as SIR. Various communities contributing to SIR are called as Siral communities here. Last, the climax, as you in the film, the climax is the final stage, the final invading the species in the area for a longer tenure of a time is called as stabilization. Last stage of ecological succession, this is okay. There, the final community become more or less stabilized for the longer time. This community can maintain its equilibrium with the climate of the area. This final community is also called as a climax community. The climax community is not replaced by any other communities here. The climate community is determined by the climate of that region. Examples for the climate community we can give the forest, grassland, etc., etc. This is the major important of ecological succession process. Thank you one and all. In the next class, I will handle regarding the hydrophytes.